When Donald Sutherland tragically passed away at age 88 this week, he left behind his devoted wife, Francine Racette, whom he was married to for more than 5 decades. But before the MASH alum found the love of his life in Francine, he had an extremely tumultuous romantic life filled with multiple failed marriages, cheating allegations, and a whirlwind affair with Jane Fonda. Almost immediately after the actor was skyrocketed into the spotlight in the late 60s, he earned a reputation for being quite the player. Donald tied the knot for the first time while he was in college, marrying a former child star who was 18 years his senior. But soon after his Hollywood career took off, the Hunger Games star filed for divorce. And within months, he was walking down the aisle with actress Shirley Douglas. The young stars quickly welcomed twins together, including 24 actor Kiefer Sutherland, but his second marriage came to a screeching halt when rumors erupted that he and Jane had become embroiled in a secret affair after falling in love on set of the movie Clute 4 years later. By the time Donald met Francine in 1972, Hollywood's new it boy had already been embroiled in 2 very public breakups and a tryst with a co-star. But she seemed to tame the former bad boy, and the couple, who welcomed 3 sons together, were happily in love up until his passing this week, which was confirmed by his son, Kiefer. It's been said that the acclaimed actor died in Miami from a long illness, but no further details were immediately available. With a heavy heart, I tell you that my father, Donald Sutherland, has passed away, Kiefer wrote on X on Thursday morning. I personally think he was one of the most important actors in the history of film. Never daunted by a role, good, bad, or ugly. He loved what he did and did what he loved. And one can never ask for more than that. A life well lived. As the world grapples with the news, we have broken down everything you need to know about Donald's roller coaster ride love life and family, from his 2 ex-wives to his 5 kids. 1. Donald wed a former child star 18 years his senior named Lois Hardwick while he was in college. Donald met his first wife, Lois Hardwick, when he was studying at Victoria University, Toronto in Canada. A budding engineer with a passion for performing, Donald quickly became smitten with Lois, a former child star who was 18 years his senior. Lois famously starred in many movies from the Disney film series Alice comedies throughout the 1920s, but retired from acting in 1929. They wed in 1959 and were together for 7 years, but soon after Donald gave up on his dreams to be an engineer and set out on a pursuit to be an actor instead, their marriage came crashing down. Just when his film career began to take off, the budding new Hollywood star filed for divorce from Lois in 1966. And while he has never spoken publicly about what led to their split, the timing of his next romance may pose as a hint. Lois sadly passed away 2 years after they went their separate ways. Her cause of death is not known. 2. Almost immediately after his split from Lois, he walked down the aisle with actress Shirley Douglas. Almost immediately after splitting from Lois, Donald walked down the aisle with actress Shirley, daughter of Canadian politician Tommy Douglas, who is well known for creating Canada's universal healthcare system. Just a few months later, she welcomed their twins, Kiefer and Rachel. Shirley was best known for her roles in Stanley Kubrick's Lolita, the TV series Wind at My Back, and the sci-fi series The Silver Surfer. But their romance was torn apart after reports emerged that claimed Donald was having an affair with his Clute co-star, Jane. Kiefer went on to follow in his father's footsteps and became a major actor, starring in the Fox series 24, the film Stand By Me, horror comedy The Lost Boys, and The Three Musketeers, to name a few. As for Rachel, she is now a successful producer and has worked on a slew of shows like Law and Order Toronto, Criminal Intent, Pretty Hard Cases, Nurses, Burden of Truth, and Mary Kills People. Shirley passed away in 2020 at age 86 from complications relating to pneumonia. 3. He had a whirlwind affair with Jane Fonda that began just before they started shooting Clute together. Both Jane and Donald were at the height of their careers when rumors of a love affair erupted. But the two stayed tight-lipped about their romance, that is, until years later, when Donald finally confirmed it to Rolling Stone. During a 2018 interview, he confessed that he and Jane were indeed lovers for a few years, explaining that the whirlwind romance began just before shooting kicked off for Clute. And it turns out, Jane was the one who initiated it, despite him being a married man. We'd already been cast but had not started shooting, he explained. And one day, She made it very clear, via a somewhat provocative suggestion, that I should come home with her. And I just said, okay. 4. He exchanged vows for a third time with Francine Racette, and they were together up until his death. Things with Jane must have eventually fizzled out, because in 1972, Donald exchanged vows for a third time with French-Canadian actress Francine after they grew close on set of Alien Thunder. They went on to welcome sons Reg in 1974, Rossif in 1978, and Angus in 1982. Reg now works as a talent agent and producer, while Rossif went on to become an actor, starring in Yar, Crossing Lines, Poor Boy, and River. Donald's youngest son Angus briefly dabbled in acting, but he now works as a producer. Donald and Francine stayed together until his passing this week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates on celebrity deaths and news updates.